You know that sinking feeling. You're standing next to someone. You know you should say something, but your brain goes completely blank, so you default to something safe. How was your day? They give you a one-word answer, and now you're both stuck in silence. Awkward, forced, painful. And in that moment, you tell yourself, I'm just bad at small talk. But here's the truth. You're not bad at small talk. You've just been taught it the wrong way. And once you understand this, conversations stop feeling like pressure and start feeling natural. Most people believe small talk is about saying interesting things, being witty, being charming, having the perfect thing to say. But that's not what actually works. Because the moment you try to say something interesting, your brain freezes. You overthink, you hesitate, you second guess every word. And that's exactly why conversations die. Because your focus is in the wrong place. Here's the shift most people never realize. Great conversations don't come from trying to impress people. They come from noticing people, and that changes everything. But before we get into how to fix it, you need to understand why your conversations feel awkward in the first place. Because it's not random, it's psychological. Your brain is wired to avoid social risk. Every time you talk to someone new, your mind is scanning for danger. Don't say something stupid. Don't get judged. Don't make it weird. So instead of being natural, you play it safe. And what's the safest thing you can say? Generic questions. What do you do? How's your day? Where are you from? Sounds normal, right? But here's the problem. These questions don't create connection. They create pressure. Now the other person has to think of something interesting. Give a good answer. Keep the conversation going. That's work. And when something feels like work, people shut down. They give short answers, they disengage, they mentally check out, and you walk away thinking, I'm just not good at this. But the problem was never you. It was your approach. Now here's where it gets interesting. Confident people don't rely on questions. They rely on observations. Instead of asking, they notice. And when you notice something about someone, you're doing something powerful. You're showing attention. And attention creates connection. Let me show you the difference. Instead of asking, what are you reading? You say, that book looks like it's been through a few coffee spills. Now suddenly, it's not a question, it's an opening. Instead of, how's work? You say, you look like someone who just survived a long meeting. Now they don't feel interrogated, they feel understood. And when people feel understood, they talk. But here's the part most people still get wrong. They make boring observations. Nice weather, cool shirt, that's a good book. Technically fine, but completely dead. No emotion, no curiosity, no reason to respond. So what actually makes an observation interesting? There are 3 psychological elements, and once you use these, your conversations start pulling people in. First, specificity. Most people notice obvious things, but connection comes from noticing what others miss. Not nice shoes, but those shoes look like they could survive a zombie apocalypse. Now it's different. Now it stands out. Now it makes them react, because the brain is wired to notice novelty. Second, slight exaggeration. Reality is boring, but when you exaggerate just a little, you add personality. Instead of, you look tired, say, you look like your coffee betrayed you this morning. Now it's relatable, but also playful, and that lowers social tension. Because humor signals safety. It tells the other person, this is a relaxed interaction, and when people feel relaxed, they open up. Third, implied story. This is the most powerful one. Humans are naturally curious about stories, so when you hint that there's something behind what you see, people feel the urge to explain. For example, that laptop looks like it's been through a lot. Now they want to respond, because you've created a gap, and the brain wants to close that gap. This is called a curiosity loop, and it's what keeps conversations alive. Now here's where everything comes together. When you combine specificity, exaggeration, and implied story, your words become what I like to call conversation magnets, because now people want to agree with you, correct you, add to what you said, tell you more, and suddenly the conversation flows without effort. But there's one simple tool that makes all of this even easier. A 3-word phrase. I bet that this might sound simple, but it changes everything, because it removes pressure completely. Instead of asking directly, you're suggesting, you're guessing, you're opening a door, instead of pushing someone through it. For example, I bet that coffee saved your morning. I bet that book has a story behind it. I bet that meeting didn't go as planned. Now notice what happens. They don't feel questioned, they feel invited. And invitations are easy to accept, because psychologically, there's no pressure to be perfect. They can agree, disagree, laugh, explain, and all of it keeps the conversation alive. But here's the deeper truth most people miss. Small talk isn't about words, it's about attention. People don't remember what you say, they remember how you made them feel. And when someone feels seen, they naturally want to engage. They want to talk, they want to stay in that interaction. That's why some people seem naturally good at conversations. It's not talent, it's awareness. They're not trying to be interesting, they're being interested. And that's a completely different energy. So next time you find yourself in that awkward silence, don't panic, don't force a question, don't try to impress. Just pause, look around, notice something specific, add a little personality, and start with, I bet that, and watch what happens. Because once you understand this, you'll realize something powerful. powerful. Conversations were never supposed to be hard. You were just using the wrong strategy. But here's where it gets even more interesting. There's a deeper psychological reason why some people instantly feel comfortable to talk to, while others don't. And once you understand that, you won't just fix small talk. You'll completely change how people respond to you. Watch the next video.